Welcome watchers of this video, my name is Russ, I go by the YouTube channel TheAnimePlanet, and today I am here with my pal, TheAverageAnimeFan.
What's going on, guys? My name is, obviously, as Russ just said, TheAverageAnimeFan, and today we're here to talk about basically, you know, a few things anime related, of course, and hopefully this goes well, because, you know, I've been looking forward to this. This is probably going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so this was a last minute decision on my part, to make a new series for the AnimeGalaxy Hub channel, because we are kind of lacking in content at the moment. But anyway, the idea of these videos is that we take a topic, anime related of course, and discuss it between us. So let's get right into this. For the first episode, I have decided to go with Space Dandy. So Taylor, what are your thoughts so far on Space Dandy? Like, from now, like, all together as a whole. What do you think of it?
Well, so far, obviously it's one of the most popular anime of this season. That's without a doubt. Because of the fact that the dub actually comes out before the Japanese sub, which is incredible. But obviously some people try and rip it apart by trying to take it way too serious. But everyone knows it's just for comedy. It's just for the wacky animation. And you're not really meant to be taking the show serious, are you?
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point of the show. It is very wacky in nature, and I really do like the vibe they're going with it. It's this like 60s, 70s kind of wacky.
Really
yeah,
cool.
It's quite unique. Other than like his previous works, I don't think there are many shows that have gone for that look. So yeah, I really do like it so far. And of course, there will be spoilers in this video. We're warning you now, because it is a discussion video.
Yeah. And
so, from episode 1 to 4, it was quite laid back, quite just a fun ride. I think
it's just a fun adventure, to watch the show, yeah.
Yeah, in your video you described it as like a trip. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of basically, from what I got from episode 1 with the wacky animation, that it's almost being high the entire episode, because of the animation is so different and unique from literally anything else that we've seen in decades. It is just different. I'm not going to say I'm not going to, go out and say it's absolutely amazing, but it's definitely different, and that's something that, we do need with seasonal anime nowadays.
Yeah, that is spot on. Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. And the reason why I liked it so much, the reason why I'm thinking I'm going to like it so much in the long run is, have you seen episode 5?
No, I haven't.
You're going to love episode 5. It takes such a turn, because you know how so far it's been quite episodic. But you start to like connect with Dandy more as a person.
Yeah. And
it sort of goes into that side of him more than just this plain character that's like goes to boobies all the time and,
yeah.
It's a really nice development.
So what does happen in episode 5? Because I honestly don't mind being spoiled, because I just want to be caught up with the show. I've only watched up to episode 3, I think, so I'm obviously going to finish, watching it maybe tonight or tomorrow. But, can you just fill me in what's happened in, the recent episode, so I got a good understanding of what you mean by, the plot's taking a different turn. Okay, so basically, in episode 5, Dandy is alien hunting for a specific alien, and, He goes to get this alien, and it turns out that it's like this little girl. Yeah. And basically the whole progression of that episode is Dandy connecting with this girl, because Dandy was obviously he didn't really like children. I guess that would be a good way to put it. Okay, and it's sort of like a changing of hearts type episode. It was really good. It was a fun watch. See, that's what I was thinking. From what you just said, that actually seems, again, different, because the show, each episode consistently keeps, I wouldn't say breaking boundaries, but it keeps being different each episode. Like, I'm not going to say the style of animation changes, but it's consistently wacky, and it, changes in some aspects through the thing. But what you just said with that, in episode 5 with the plot, I can see what they're really doing here, where they're going to keep trying to change the tone of the series throughout, and I really think that's going to make it, a top anime of this season so far.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's gonna be a good one when it's finished, and the whole thing with the dub, oh, that's amazing. Like, I really do hope that opens doors for more series to be done like that. Because a lot of people that I talk to, I have tried getting people into anime before, but they're put off by the whole Japanese aspect of it, and the whole dub airing with the sub. It brings a lot more new fans in, and that, it's always a plus.
And this is the first time they've done it, and it's not like it's a bad dub. It's honestly like it's just a standard good dub. I'm not going to say
Funimation did such a great job with that dub.
They did a really good job with this dub, and I'm glad that they actually had the balls to go out and release it simultaneously with the Japanese. So I'm glad they did that, and as you said, this is going to open the doors for new anime. So I'm hoping next season and even further seasons beyond, big shows are actually gonna go and do that. That would be, something crazy. Just say, Attack on Titan Season 2 did that. Imagine now what that would do, because it was already so big, but imagine if a show of that size coming out with an English dub the exact same time, it would just boost the popularity of that anime so much. Tenfold.
It is definitely the main factor that's like why people aren't getting into it. It's because it is the foreign aspect. People are scared by that. Space Dandy is breaking boundaries. But there is another thing I'd like to talk about. And okay, this is going to be a bit of a bad transition here, but I've been watching a series. You've probably all heard of it. Fairy Tail, one of the most respected animes of all time. Loved by absolutely everyone in our community.
Ever. If you can't sense this, Russ is using some sort of sarcasm, but I'm actually a huge Fairy Tail fan. It's just because of the fact that it gets so much crap for no reason is just why. I think this is probably one of the main reasons why we want to talk about this, because if I don't want to go around bragging, but I was the one that got Russ into Fairy Tail by putting it so high on a pedestal. Not as in a good show. I didn't put it on a pedestal as it's one of the best shows ever. I'm just saying it is incredibly fun to watch, and I think Russ agrees with that, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely, and the reason why I watch anime ultimately is to have fun. So I don't really care that Fairy Tail it's not necessarily the best, and like it isn't, but it's so fun, like you said, and it's why I watch anime, and
So, Fairy Tail so far, like I've completely finished the series. I've also caught up on the manga as well because I couldn't just wait for some reason. I don't know why I've done that. But the anime's returning back in April, which is absolutely huge. I've got a video.
You must be pretty hyped for that.
I even made a video on my channel, and it's actually a really successful video. So if you guys want to check that out, that's on my channel. But the anime returning is just going to boost the popularity so much. So this year, Fairy Tail was, I think, if I got it right, it was 9th in the best-selling manga of this year. So with the anime coming back, I could see it easily getting into the top 5. The popularity of this show is just going to keep boosting and boosting. But for, obviously, the anime so far, Russ, what do you think?
As a whole, it is very fun. The thing that I was quite shocked by at the beginning was how different it was, how different I thought it was to how it actually is. Like, a lot of people describe it as being this really shit thing. Like people describe it as being like the worst shonen out of them all. I'm not really a big shonen watcher, so I wasn't really expecting it to be amazing, because I just finished Madoka Magica, and it's probably one of my most favourite shows of all time. Yeah,
that's one of Russ's most beloved series. If Russ had to make a top 5, I'm guessing that's probably going to be in there for, most loved, your personal favourite.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's so good. But anyway, the reason why I think that Fairy Tail gets so much hate is the fan service, and there is a lot of fan service in Fairy Tail. Like, a lot.
Yeah.
And despite there being a lot of fan service in Fairy Tail, I don't think it is actually that bad, because
this is the thing. I don't know why people push like Fairy Tail away so much just because of the fan service, because obviously I know there's other shows out there with loads and loads more fan service, ecchi shows, whatever. I'm not going to use that as an excuse, but honestly, you can't blame a show for being bad just on the one single fact that it has a lot of fan service. If you're complaining about the fan service, go and watch the OVAs, because I can guarantee you that has 10 times more fan service than the actual show. It's incredible, but honestly, you cannot blame just the fan service for, you know, the downfall of the show. I honestly think, I know that, you know, the flaws of Fairy Tail. I know some, you know, some plot holes, how the characters don't develop, you know, well, some characters anyway. But honestly, I can say that is my personal favorite anime because, you know, if you're looking at the screen right now, my bloody character is Natsu. But yeah, it is. It's my favorite anime of all time, just for many, many reasons. And obviously, I'm not, same as Russ, I'm not a really, really long shonen watcher. I've watched, you know, maybe a few Dragon Ball Z. I've dropped a lot of shows. The only show that I haven't even given a chance is Naruto. Bleach, One Piece, Hunter x Hunter I've kind of put on hold, but Bleach and One Piece I just dropped after a certain amount of episodes because I couldn't get into it. But Fairy Tail was absolutely different. I don't know what it was, but loads of people are going to disagree, but I honestly think it is an incredible watch, just for the fun aspect.
Okay, so far for me, because I've watched up to episode 65, I think.
Yeah.
And, you know, it isn't, like, some of the arcs I really didn't like, but then the other arcs make up for it.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
I can agree
some of
with
the,
that.
I don't mean to offend you, but some of the arcs, they're
No,
quite bad.
I can admit some of the acts are terrible because some people call me a fairy tad and stuff like that, which you can.
Well, you call yourself a fairy tad.
Well, yeah, and I call myself a fairy tad, but technically in other people's eyes I'm not a fairy tad because I know its flaws. I even point out its flaws, and I know that it is far from the best anime ever. But yeah, there is some flaws. So what acts in particular didn't you really like? Because I can just agree with you then, or disagree, whatever, but...
The arc where the whole guild is, like, fighting. What guild? It was the one that I was talking to you about earlier.
Ah, the Phantom Lord arc. Do you mean that, where they, the guild gets... Well, it's not the guild. Yeah, the guild gets destroyed, basically. You're on about that, and they all go and invade the next guild ahead.
Yeah, that's the one.
With Serious? You didn't like that?
No, that's the one I really liked.
I was gonna say, because from the point you're up till now, that and the Fighting Festival arc, which
that's the other one. That's the Fighting Festival arc. Oh, that was good. There's a lot of action in that. That was fun.
So at the point you're at to right now, those two are my favorite acts. But I understand what you mean, because there's just some moments in Fairy Tail where it makes you want to just jump for joy because of how, you know, the adrenaline. And I gotta give it credit. Most of it is the music. The music in Fairy Tail.
The openings are so good.
The openings.
Like, I will go out and admit
the openings
that
are really
they
good.
are some of the best openings I've ever listened to.
And some of the OSTs is just absolutely just incredible. It fits so well, and if it wasn't for those OSTs, I don't think I wouldn't have liked Fairy Tail so much, because it wouldn't have made those epic scenes even more epic than it already was. Yeah, the music
is there to add intensity to the emotions, and it is done very well on the Fairy Tail soundtrack. Does Fairy Tail actually get better, do you think, from episode 65 onwards, or... Because I'm not really sure what to expect, that's the thing. Because I'm liking the new characters that they introduce, Wendy and the cat. Good characters.
Yeah, Wendy, Carla, and Gagio must have been introduced about 30 episodes ago now, yeah? Is that about right? Yeah, okay, that's about right. Really, if I gotta give my honest opinion, there's a few acts coming up which I honestly think they're my favourite acts in the entire show. And then there's a few acts, especially one which is coming up, which is the second to last act in the show, which is actually filler. And when I went through it, I didn't know it was filler. And then someone told me that one of the acts in the entire show were filler, and I guessed straight away. I could tell that one, because it was the most, in my opinion, the poorest of all the acts. I could just tell that it wasn't really meant to fit inside of the story, which is a good thing, that you can tell that... You know, Fairy Tail has enough of a plot line that you can tell, no, this shouldn't really fit in there.
Yeah, as you're saying about the plot line, Fairy Tail's quite mind-twisting, because that whole thing with, Yeah, Jalal.
Jalal,
That was
you're on about,
confusing
yeah.
me so much. Like, it kept coming back, and it was like, oh, he's not dead. He's not dead again. It was like, it was pretty...
Yeah, but it gets explained completely by episode 100, I'm pretty sure, because I had the exact same reaction as you. I was just like, well, what's happening with him? There's one of him, there's two of him, there's three of him. I was like, what's going on? But by episode 100 in the Edalus arc, you get everything absolutely explained. The Edalus arc, the Fighting Festival arc, and I think it's called the Tenrojima Island arc, is my three favorite arcs in the story. So you still got two of my favorite arcs coming up ahead. So I'm guessing you might like those, because obviously there's a time skip ahead, which is, you know, from other YouTube videos. It's not hard to guess that, but
yeah,
it progressively, I think it does get better because of the strong arcs.
Does the animation get better as well, or does it pretty much stay constant the whole way through?
I honestly think, especially in the last arc and the Tenrojima arc, the animation is really, really good compared to obviously the first few episodes where I wasn't impressed with the animation. I just thought, oh, okay, you know, run of the mill shonen, you know, standard basic animation quality. But by the last arc and this the Tenrojima arc, I honestly, the animation just looks, I'm not going to say incredible because it's not, but for fairy tale quality, it's really, really good. And with the new series now, they get extra budget animation quality. They've released some
the character designs
for
they look good.
They're like a lot. Well, they improved so much more, and they're closer looking to the manga, because I read back from the some of the manga, and it does look more like them. So I'm glad that it's, you know, sticking more towards its roots. But honestly, yeah, the animation does get progressively better.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. So do you want to wrap this up now?
Yeah. How far?
Okay. It says we started a bit late, but we've been going for 26 minutes in the Skype call.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll wrap it up now. So, if you want to check us out, you can check in the description. We'll have a link to both of our channels down there. Thank you for watching this video. Sorry if it isn't the best. This was kind of a last-minute thing. And have a great night or day, Taylor. Take it away.
People.
Okay, bye, guys.
We'll be right back.